Hey guys, welcome back to Loop Hub. Today we'll talk about the grossest and most disgusting moments on Dr. Pimple Popper. Let's head into it. Number 1. Removing scrambled egg-like bits out of a man's cheek growth. From creme brulee to mashed potatoes, Dr. Pimple Popper likens her patient's lumps and blemishes to food. The famous dermatologist did precisely that with a man's excellent cheek lipoma in a YouTube video posted this week. Lipomas are fat-filled growths that appear between the muscle and skin layers of a person. Lipomas usually grow slowly and are modest, with a diameter of around 2 inches, according to the Mayo Clinic. When pushed with a finger, these growths normally feel doughy and move around a little under the skin. Lipomas are painless for most people, but they can be uncomfortable for others if they're near nerves or blood vessels. The lipomas can be drained if this is the case. According to the Mayo Clinic, people are more likely to develop lipomas as they become older, mainly between the ages of 40 to 60. Doctors aren't sure what causes lipomas in the first place, but they suspect that some people are predisposed to them genetically. Dr. Pimple Popper explained to the man that another doctor had attempted to remove the growth previously, but had failed to do so completely. Lee began the treatment by numbing the area before cutting into the lipoma center with a blade. She next zapped tiny blood vessels in the incision with a cauterizing pen to prevent excessive bleeding. Dr. P next used scissors to snip away at fibers beneath the skin, making it simpler to detect and retrieve the lipoma. She squeezed the skin around the growth with one hand, while using the other to tweeze the lipoma with tweezers. Lee decided to chop out tiny parts of the lipoma after a few minutes of shimmying it about inside the cavity. According to Lee, eliminating the growth little bit by bit was a preferable method because it was deep beneath the man's skin, and according to Dr. P, each cut lipoma chunk looked like a piece of scrambled eggs. Dr. Pimple Popper used stitches to suture the cut on the man's face after double checking that she had removed the entire lipoma. She also scheduled a few more appointments for the patient, as the stitches could turn septic and pose a bigger threat if not treated in time. This got the patient really worried, but after a few visits to the doctor, everything went as expected. Number 2. Dr. Pimple Popper said her favorite pimples to treat are the ones with the biggest pops. Dr. Sandra Lee, or Dr. Pimple Popper, presented another segment of her work with a man with so many blackheads that he appeared to be wearing a mask on May 22. Lee removed the blackheads that had accumulated around the unnamed old man's cheeks, temples, and brow bones in a previous video, but stated that one sitting would not be enough to eliminate the bulk of the spots. The man's wife attempted to pop the blackheads before coming to Lee for extractions, but they only got worse over the course of the year. The man's mask had vanished following 3 treatments with Dr. Pimple Popper for blackhead removal. The old man had spent decades working in the air freight industry, where he was exposed to jet fuel for the majority of the day, generating an accumulation of blackheads on his face. He told Lee that his shifts were frequently 10 hours long, exposing him to acne-causing gases over extended periods of time. In the video, Lee says, "Sometimes when I see ones like these, the occupation that individuals have had has been a fireman or anything like that, where they're in suit a lot. You weren't a firefighter, but you worked in air freight so much that you had jet fuel or exhaust on your face all the time." The man also claimed to have had an oily complexion for most of his life, which Lee claimed to give his face the ideal home for blackheads. His skin's oil production, combined with bacteria and debris from the jet fuel he was exposed to, made it easy for dead skin and dirt to become lodged in his pores, resulting in a large number of blackheads. Lee simultaneously pushed and wiggled her loop extractor tool on the blackheads while treating the man. She claimed that the procedure aids in the removal of tough spots, which she claims are among her favorites to treat. You don't know if they're going to be your favorite until they pop, and then you're like, okay, that was my favorite, Lee explained. She went on to say that she liked popping the man's eyelid blackheads because they were tough to remove at first, but pleasurable after they were out of his skin. Lee believes the man's Masked Man moniker should be retired now that he no longer has blackheads around his eyes and forehead. In some ways, he's a superhero, Lee explained. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.